You're like the pun police.
Yeah, no, I'm not normally. It's just
around me, huh?
every once in a while I just hear one and I think, no.
Okay, well, here we go, guys. In a match where there will be no puns at all. In the bottom right part of the map.
Lies.
The bottom of the map, Ohana. Shut up, you. It is our yellow Terran player from the team StarTale, already getting 2 wins today, giving StarTale a hard time. It is Maru.Prime. And up at the top left part of the map, in the blue, from the team StarTale, if anyone can come back and get some wins, I feel like this guy is definitely a candidate for that. It is StarTale.Curious, a very, very strong and oftentimes underrated Zerg player as well. People are like, oh yeah, Curious is good, but he's really good.
Well, Curious,
really, really good.
To me, Curious is one of those guys where it's like, hey, Josh, who are your top 10 Korean Zergs? And I might forget Curious because my mind will immediately jump to Dongre-gu and Nesty.
Yeah.
Losira comes after Nesty in my head just because he's Nesty Jr.
Okay.
And they had that great GSL finals. And then after that, it's like TSL. TSL is 100 Zergs.
Shine, Revival, Hyun, Symbol.
They're all amazing. And then, so Curious kind of slips under the radar. If you said who's the best Zerg on StarTale, then Curious would come up for sure. But it's like, he's not the flashiest player. Like,
you're not going to pick StarTale King Kong?
Well, StarTale King Kong might even come before Curious because they start King Kong so often.
They do, actually. They do use him a lot in Team League situations. But Curious, I would say, definitely the most accomplished Zerg in StarCraft 2 on, well, this year on StarTale, because they've got July as well.
Yeah, of course.
And July's been to a GSL Finals. Obviously, in Brood War, he's just beyond legendary. So,
of course,
most accomplished Zerg on StarTale, obviously July. But in StarCraft 2 in 2012, it's going to be Curious.
Okay.
So,
all right, I believe you.
So we didn't do a very good job of really kind of proving how great Curious is, but he is.
I might even throw Life into that.
You know, maybe. Yeah, Life actually. Okay. Sorry, Curious.
Curious, you gotta win some games here just to imprint yourself here.
Maybe this will be it. Maybe this will be the day when Curious breaks out from behind the shadow of his teammate. Will this be the run? You know, Life didn't look very good today, so all Curious has to do is survive for 8 minutes, and he'll already be doing better than Life.
What was Life supposed to do, though? Like, that's so harsh.
Micro.
Well, what did he? I mean,
micro your drones, man. It's not easy. Nobody said defending a double 11 racks was easy, Josh.
That's true. It's actually extremely difficult. That's why I'm like, give him a,
That's why whenever someone does defend it, it's like, wow, that was really good, because it's hard.
Yeah.
Gas before pool for StarTale.Curious. In fact, gas and 3 hatcheries total before pool for StarTale.Curious. So he will be getting Zergling speed as quickly as he can with this. But look at this, scouted immediately by Maru.Prime. And on a 2-player map like this, I know Ohana's got a big range. You know, it's a long map, but I still feel like this is a little bit risky for a Zerg to do. I mean, we've been seeing it more and more in StarCraft 2 right now. We've seen it work. We've seen it not work. We'll see how Curious decides to kind of come out of it. That's kind of the big... The interesting part of this to me right now is not the fact that they put down 3 hatcheries, but how do they decide to play the next couple of minutes after they do that? You know, what do they decide to do to stay safe, but not really skimp on economy any more than they have to? So it's really an interesting time right now in TVZ.
So tech options compared to Zergling number and drone number is basically what we're looking at for that production tab right now. Otherwise, for Maru, we're going to be looking at obviously what are the first units he's going to be making. So this factory is coming up. We see this add-on as a reactor, so it makes me think 4 to 6 Hellions might be starting off, especially against 3 base Zerg like that, because one of these bases is going to be somewhat easier to attack than the others. So
well, the third is wide open for Hellions. So
right now it is.
It is. I mean, even if when creep connects it, it's still going to be pretty wide open. It's going to be tough for Curious to defend that unless he puts, you know, like a queen and some spines there potentially. We'll see though. I mean, sometimes Terran players do only make like a couple Hellions. I think it is going to be a couple more this time because there is a fast third command center from Maru.
Yeah, and so I've been watching the production tab a little bit. He only made those first 2 Lings. At first started another wave of drones. Now he's back to Lings. Zergling speed is going to get done here pretty soon, but no layer on the way yet or anything like that. So he's going to be playing an extended early game, I guess I'll say, instead of going for quick roaches or banelings.
Yeah, we still might see that Roach Horn come down, and you know, that is a possibility. But I think overall he's going to just kind of play a little bit more passive, play a macro game. And yeah, we see Maru.Prime doing a very, very popular opening right now in Terran versus Zerg, going for 3 command centers really quickly, double engineering bay, and oftentimes Banshees with this as well, although it looks like Maru may be considering skipping the Banshees this time around, which you can certainly do.
Man, that was really nice with those Hellions. The Zerglings saw the Hellions coming and got out of there. The Hellions barely caught the Zerglings leaving that vision range and went back to defend. He did lose all those Marines, unfortunately, but he did ward off the Zerglings from trying to go in and do anything further at the natural or something like that. And he's going to complete this wall off with those depots that can obviously sink. And for just a second, I had a reminder of Brood War where engineering base could actually lift off. I still think it's weird that they can't in StarCraft 2.
You know, that's a good question. It is a little bit strange that they can't lift off
because
in StarCraft
I was thinking it doesn't matter what he builds because he can just lift off the engineering bay. And I was like, no, that actually hasn't been the case for 2 years now.
Part of it is that they have so many hit points in StarCraft 2 and they build so quickly that it would be too easy for Terran to just do it and get like unlimited scouting info whenever they wanted to, basically. That's the reasoning that I've kind of heard behind that.
You could just have an engineering bay floating off into space too and just be able to build turrets, and then there's no way they could snipe the engineering. I mean, they would have to find it.
There you go.
So that's a possibility.
That would work too. 2 more engineering bays on the way from Maru. That's a little bit odd.
Let's look at worker count just because I'm curious. Oh,
hold on. There's 2 more engineering bays on the way.
He loves engineering bays.
Wait, go back to his main. This has got to be okay. So here's what's happening. I can tell. Yeah, he's going to cancel this right away.
What's happening, Dylan? Is he going to cancel?
I know exactly why that happened.
He's got 2 different builds in his head.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, remember when I mentioned earlier that a lot of people choose to go for Banshees with this?
Yeah.
When you go for Banshees, you do get the engineering bays at the time that Maru just got them. So given that he decided to skip the Banshees this time, get his engineering bays earlier for a quicker +1/+1, he still kind of had it in his head, that build autopilot, that he needed the engineering bays, and that's why we saw those go down. So,
so
happens
just
a lot, actually.
A mental misstep from Maru, actually. Perhaps one of the first ones we've seen in this series. He's been playing just great against his first 2 opponents. His first opponent against Hack, he did just an amazing game all game long. He lost a little bit of control toward that mid game, but then the second game was so short. Basically, if he didn't win outright, he was gonna, have no chance of winning. So he did execute it at least pretty well. So so far, not really seeing that many mistakes until just now, but not even a huge deal. I mean, a little bit of build time and a little bit of minerals is all that he lost. I'm wondering if these destructible rocks are ever going to be focused down by either Maru or Curious, because they don't serve much purpose for either player.
And now that the creep is kind of spread, he's going to be doing fine. Oh, trying to get the surround on the Hellions, and he does get 1. Looks like he will be able to get the other 2 if he chooses to later. Yeah, doesn't want to attack into that. Oh, he still gets another Hellion. Now, meanwhile, back at home, 10 Mutalisks on the way for Curious. He's decided to go into Mutatech. What are the upgrades right now? Only now just getting 1/1. And no upgrades for his Spire Tech. The nice thing with this, though, is that he'll be able to definitely put a lot of harassment onto Maru.Prime, keep him at home, and that'll give him time to catch up in upgrades, go for that Hive Tech if he decides to do that, too. He's getting his Baneling Nest right now, and he may, and he's going to potentially need that, too.
Muta Baneling will do pretty well against these.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Muta Baneling will do well against these Marines if he, spreads them out correctly, uses the Mutas to distract and the Banelings to enforce, basically. Use the Banelings to explode all these many Marines. And if you've been watching the production tab, 7 Marines at a time coming out of Maru. So those Banelings are going to need to be really, really efficient. Yeah,
typical high upgrade, high Marine count style right now. We see a ton of Terrans doing it. And here come the Mutalisks. Oh, 2 free medevacs potentially. Oh, there's enough Marines. He does have to turn around here.
Oh, now he's pinned.
Wow, actually, Curious is so lucky right now. He doesn't do a lot of damage with the Mutas, but he was about to take a ton of damage from the Marines, and medevacs are out in a forward position. As it is now, he pulled most of them back. He's able to clean these up. New lease on life for StarTale Curious. That was a really close moment for him.
Yeah, he almost got pinched between those huge Marine forces that are actually just getting tons of upgrades already. I think all of the Tech Lab upgrades are done for those Marines, and he is almost at 2-2 already. Look at this huge force of Mutaling. I'm wondering how many he's going to commit to making Banelings. He's got 6 in production now somewhere else, not near the front here. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
wide
nice.
open third.
He's going to get a lot of SCVs here. Oh, wow. Potentially a lot of SCVs. One more whole position. There we go. Yep. Picking off a few more. Good job by Curious to be able to take that out. He got 8 workers. Not bad at all. Didn't lose a single Muta. And so at this point, a lot of times what you'll see is Zerg do, you know, once Baneling speed is getting close to finishing, he's going to make a lot of Banelings. He knows his opponent's siege tank count is low. He's going to be able to just kind of overwhelm him with Banelings. No matter how good your Marine splitting is, you cannot split against that. Yeah.
That's true. Baneling speed is nearly halfway done here, so he doesn't even need to commit these yet. He could just wait.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to wait until Baneling speed.
Yeah, but then the drawback is siege tech is going to be done, so it's kind of a give or take.
You know, the thing is that siege tech is only as good as the number of siege tanks you have.
Which is currently 4.
4, yeah, and that's not enough to target fire that many Banelings down. This is what we used to see a lot of Zerg players do back in the days.
Yeah,
and that's and eventually that's why Terran started adding on, you know, 2 factories, 3 factories to make that siege tank high enough. That didn't work.
Couple may catch a couple. Oh, but the Lings and Banelings are already in position. Baneling speed might finish during this encounter.
Well, he gets as many as he can. Oh, and the Medevac's getting attacked by the Mutalisks too. Oh, he doesn't get one. Wow, that was lucky for Maru. Ooh, that was a close one.
Both players just hanging, like, being very close to the edge with their attacks.
Curious now back with the map control again. He's had the time to get those upgrades. Doesn't have 2-2 yet, but he does have it on the way, starting with the Infestor upgrades as well. I like that he's getting Flyer Carapace. It's going to be good for Broodlords later on, and it's good for Mutas right now if they do end up running into any Marines accidentally. But yeah, so many Banelings being made for Curious.
Look at these.
They're just freaking out, man. Breakdancing Banelings.
They're just twitching.
On that. Never mind.
They're stuck on the cocoons there. Notice I did not say eggs.
They are freaking out, man.
man.
Yeah, they are cocoons. No Zergling eggs in StarCraft 2. It's all Zergling cocoons.
They need to bring back eggs in Heart of the Swarm, man.
Bring back the egg. Were they eggs in Broodlord? I can't even remember if they were cocoons or eggs. Probably cocoons.
I want to say eggs.
Eggs, cocoons.
Anyway.
They're both delicious.
There's a little bit of downtime now while both players are trying to position. Muta's obviously bouncing in and stealing a couple of Marine kills. Not sure what these Marines were. They were looking for that base, but that's way over here.
Yeah. Well, the place that they looked is a very common 4th base location for Zerg. I like where Maru took his a little bit better.
Man. This is a huge force.
And they're going to need to make a run for it. Ooh, yeah, he needs to be careful. He needs to be careful not to engage until he's absolutely sure it's going to be a good engagement.
He's got all these forces back here. It seems weird to bait with this smallish number.
Yeah. Okay, Curious is playing this so well actually right now. It's not good to attack until you know you can basically get in and win the fight.
Yeah.
A lot of, I would say, the losses we see in any level of Zerg versus Terran come from impatience. You know, it's just a Zerg getting a little bit impatient, feeling like they need to attack before the Terran army gets quote-unquote too big to handle. And a lot of times you see Zergs attacking to very unfavorable positions because of that. As it is now, though, Curious is held back. Now he's got the Terran out on the map, and this instead is going to be a pretty good occasion for him to go after this, delaying just in time to get his units in position here. Maru.Prime's got a really strong army, and it's well split, though.
Oh, man, some Baneling Blast. I keep wanting to watch this bottom flank
here's
here.
The flank.
Here it is.
Oh, and here we go. This is why the patience pays off.
The tanks were unsieged at that moment, right when the flank was hitting, and the Infestors came out, held everything at the front long enough for just a rolling destruction. 144 supply now against 92.
Absolutely slaughtered.
Should Curious go for the immediate counterattack here? He's building 3 Ultras and 20 Lings right now.
That's right, and that's another thing, is that you generally don't want to just immediately attack with Zerg, because a lot of times Terrans will have a decent amount of defense back home. It doesn't look like that's the case right now for Maru.Prime. Yeah, but a lot of times, there'll be some siege tanks and things like that. You have to attack up a ramp usually if you want to do damage. And what happens then if you get this lead from winning a fight but then throw it all away against their base defenses? Then you're kind of back to square one, and who knows what's going to happen after that point.
Yeah, I'm just cycling through all the tabs here to get a look at what's going on. Still fairly even just in units killed, but hasn't lost a single drone this game, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Curious has just been playing great, man.
Unless he cancels this and then loses it. Don't do it, Curious. Just keep it going. You can do it. Yeah.
Oh, he lets it finish. And
it's going to go down. Right?
What? Okay, it does. The very last Marine. The very last Marine takes it out.
Oh, there's something happening. 2 Lings. Free command center.
That is exciting. Oh, man.
Get out of there, command center.
Okay.
He had to cancel an OC though.
Just flying away forlornly.
Why did it say cancel? It said canceled 113 minerals and 113 gas. What was that?
That was a planetary.
Oh, he was making
planetaries cost gas. Yeah,
that's right. I was like, so it couldn't have been an orbital, because why would he get a gas refund? Obvious point there. Okay, so Curious does have max now. He's got Ultras. He's got Infestors. He's got a great unit mixture actually.
Yeah.
Fungal on the Medevacs. Great move there already. Lots of, siege tanks. Only about 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, didn't really commit there. He lost some banelings they didn't really need to lose, but still in a pretty good spot. He's got the supply lead, trying to focus down some banelings, and here we go. StarTale.Curious is trying to overrun his opponent.
Looks like he's going to be able, wow, where'd all those Marines come from on the left side? I didn't even see those. Lots of bio on both sides, actually. So just these Ultras left. For Curious. I'm just going to take their HP so we can monitor them a little bit. No Planetary Fortress here, so the Ultras can freely just cleave away at these Marines, but the support for them is just nothing right now.
Yeah, I mean, and Curious is doing, again, you know, such a great job this game. He pulls back. He's like, all right, you know what? I'm not in any danger at all right now. He doesn't have a 4th base. I do. I'm even getting my 5th now, as Josh is pointing out. And as long as he can keep Maru on a total of 3 bases this game, he should be in a great spot.
I agree, and he's building lots and lots of Corruptors. The unit count for Corruptors now is up to 5, so he does have a Greater Spire already finished. He can start making Broodlords whenever he needs. He even built another Spire so he can roll double upgrades if and when he feels like paying for it.
Look at that, just kind of zoning out that base. He's not even bothering to try to really attack. There we go, 6 Broodlords on the way. Yeah, like you mentioned, 3-3 getting close to done. More Banelings, and he can just kind of sit and wait for those Broodlords to finish and then
move right in.
Yeah, make sure that 4th base doesn't get up.
I like to call this the Zerg Siege push. Just Fungal plus Broodlord is basically all you need, and then Ling Baneling is kind of like the accent to it. Lots of Lings. You think he's clearing cap space here, or just testing the water?
Maru or Curious?
Curious. Because he was maxed, and he has so many Lings, he probably wants some higher tech units, right?
Yeah, it certainly can be. He did immediately make 6 Infestors, so yeah, I think that was just kind of clearing up some supply with those Zerglings. But here we go. He's got to be pretty careful here. He doesn't want the Broodlords to get caught.
Man,
but
did not work.
No, not really.
Did not take the bait. So many Broodlings already, almost taking out a siege.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. That 4th base is not going to live.
Planetary's not even really close to done.
No.
It's not going to be a factor
nice
here.
Fungals. Oh, man, the Banelings really connecting. The SCV's desperately trying to repair, but they will all die.
Yeah.
And that base will die as well. The Planetary finishes, but it will have a very short lifespan. That is it, and I think with that Planetary dead, yep, GG. That's going to be it. StarTale.Curious finally takes out Maru, and we have ourselves a match here. It is now only a 2-1 lead, and Curious